time, because I didn't know much about politics, but I was looking at the economical status of our country, and I remember thinking for the longest time, nobody even understood what I was talking about. I used to say, but we're not independent. We're dependent on other countries for this, that, and the other. And while people are somewhat awake in regards to the political status of our country, they are not quite aware of what independence means. And you see them saying happy independence, Uganda 60 something, whatever year it is. But we are not independent. So if we can include that message in our people, even before we tell them that we are marching, we're doing this, we're doing that, we educate them. We can dedicate a whole week of educating people. What is independence? How did it come about? What were we promised that we're not given? What is it that we need to do to actually get that independence that we were promised? So that's what I wanted to talk about, to bring to the table. If we can have a roadmap, I'm very sorry that I work with structure, some sort of structure. Without structure, I'm lost. And then we can get those messages and break them down into the different languages. And perhaps we can also hold these spaces, like we started recently, from different regions, and address those particular, because we would already have the message. And then we can go like, this week or this space, we're going to talk about exactly this, economic independence. What is it they're telling us? The political reforms, how we cannot move forward with that, because that means that we are going back to the dark days, really. We don't have any rights to anything at all. So that's what I wanted to suggest, roadmap. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Thank you for that. Brayo, you have a minute, then Crystal. Crystal, you're there? Give us a thumb so that after Brayo, it's you.
Thank you much. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Thank you. Now, I think we should leave this place when we are already agreed that it's okay to take a favor when you are in need. Doesn't matter who you are. Because if you come here and justify an action that was made, that someone needed the help and it was given, then you should not be the same person to blame an MP for taking money from Museveni when he has problems. Because he's also going to tell you that, you know what, I also had problems and I went to the oppressor. So let's all agree that when it's our turn, when we are in trouble, the only place we can go is to the oppressor and get help. So we should stop blaming MPs for taking money from Museveni when they need help also, if we are justifying this action. It doesn't make sense.
Which action?
It's the same action. It's the same action. You are in prison. You have a right to call. Someone comes, one of the oppressor makes a call for you, and you have to be thankful for that. All right? You run to the oppressor for help, okay? That's a favor. An MP won an election, spent money in it, he is in trouble with the debts, he runs to Museveni for help. Let's not blame that MP, because there is no difference. There is totally no difference. It's all the same boat. We are all running to the oppressor. So I think, one, we should stop blaming those MP if we are justifying this. Two, someone was saying that they can't do anything. Well, they can do something. In Gabon, their current president, I think it's in Gabon, who made a coup. Actually, it has been happening. But specifically that country, the police officers, the army, the men in the uniform who took over the president, were not even big in the army. They were not general. No. Even way back in Gambia, they were just Klutus. They were just mere Klutus.
Simon, Brayo, summarize in a minute.
Okay, I'm going to summarize. These people, they should not lie to tell us that they can do anything. They are there, they are watching these things that they can do anything. They can do something, they just don't want. So that bullshit of telling us they can do something. Why is it that's been happening there? Who took over Obote? Third, another thing. This thing of telling us that these people see these things, but they can't do something. Well, someone is from the other camp, someone is in the NRM, or he's in the ADP or whatever, but he can't do something. He can't change until we tell him, you know what, this government is bad, you need to change, Well, let me ask you a question. If that someone is not using the same roads that we are using to know that these roads are not being worked on because of corruption, then I have no words for him. If that someone goes to hospital, private hospital and not government hospitals, and he doesn't know the reason why he doesn't go to government hospitals, then I have no words for him. If that someone takes his children to private schools and not government schools, and he doesn't know why, I have no words for him. If that someone pays his children to go work in Arab countries and he doesn't know the reason, then I have no words for that person. Man, we are to the world that you need to know that we are being oppressed. And if you don't know that and you expect me to come and tell you, hey, you know what, you come on our side, you come and fight corruption, as if you don't understand what's happening in the country. Which country do you live in? You need to be sensitized. You need to be told. As in, who told you here? Who told you the things? And you telling me that I should come and tell those people, these are what we have to do with them. If you can't know that this country is being, I have no words for you. I don't. Man, you were sleeping, and which roads are you using? You can't say that people died in GTA. You can't say that. And you can't say that the city is full of garbage. You can't. You can't say that. You can't. And you want me to come here and babysit those people? I won't do that. And you want me to babysit those people? Another thing before I go, no one is stopping those people to come on this place. No one. But the moment they are given a space to speak, this is what they do. They are given a space to speak. And the moment they start speaking, for heaven's sake, they are making us hungry. You start speaking bogus, all right? And you want me to mute myself and listen to you when you are deceiving the world. This is what Romushana does. For heaven's sake, if NBS at any point was on such platforms, Romushana shouldn't be appearing here. Should not be. Man, he starts speaking bogus. And you want us to be quiet and we just mute?
Summarize, please.
Summarizing by saying this. In South Africa, they are voting through parliament, the president. But what they do, they don't vote MPs. That's what they do. They just vote a political party. Now that political party produces the MPs, right? That's what they do. But that country has democracy. The moment where they just concluded the election there, ANC lost. However much it has the majority, but the way it has been winning, it lost. You can't have it in Uganda. And it's the thing we are talking about. That you guys want to sympathize with the people that are oppressing us. The more you empathize with those people, the more they are going to oppress us. And the more you are feeling that sympathy you're still having in your hearts is the reason why Museveni is still oppressing us. Until that sympathy goes.
Kari Brayo, thank you for that. Hey guys, I think if I give the next mic to someone.
Because personally, I disagree with the example you gave us of the MPs should be allowed. I don't think you need that example, especially when you are talking between a prisoner and a police officer, because one was just allow me. I'm not going to respond. Please, Brian, mute your mic. I'm going to let Paul speak. I just wanted to tell you to stay around because we need to have these conversations politely. You said that to recover MPs various. I will just come back and tell you the difference between those two grounds of an MP and being in prison. And the other thing you talked about, we should not teach people. We don't have time to teach people. I think you don't have time. Me, I have time. Sometimes we have to learn how to use those who oppress us also. They have been using us, they oppress. There are so many of our colleagues who are being used. So we have also to learn to use them. So you don't have an intention to give these people time. So please, next time, just know if you don't have time, others could have time. But I'm going to come back and we talk a little bit more on this issue. Or we are sympathizing. Because even me, I'm trying my level best to be tolerant. Okay? So when you come here and you're sympathizing, first of all, you sound like you don't know who you're talking to. We are not sympathizing with anybody. We are opening spaces, we are simply hosts, and we are hosting Ugandans. So when you sympathy and all that rubbish, I'm not sympathizing with anybody. Let me tell you, I'm not even sympathizing with people who are oppressed like me. So I'm not going to respond to what you said, that statement of an MP. We should give MPs to eat whatever they want because it is the same. For me, it is not completely the same, especially if we focus on Uganda. So let me yield to Polly. Polly speak and then raise up actually also you have your hand up. So Polly, take on.
Okay. Hypocrite. We should stop that thing of being hypocritic in way. I think Brian Yabadagamba is easy. Omuntu yenna omusibe. It's a human right to call his or her relatives. I'm informing. Agambe banange, bring back my people. Ndi wano, ndi muganda wo, never sibide wandegeya. It's a human right. Abasibe chebalina. I've been working in jail. Abantu abali mu jail. They have a right to speak. In 48 hours, by the right to call their relatives, by the right to eat, by the right to have intersexual goals. Everything human being, China, Ogranga, no Musibachina. We are ruled by thugs and rebels. That right, Bali to Jaco. Bright Yagame to Tabade easy. Omusibe, Yawade Abana, Yakubide Simu, Mbu, Gabategeza, Bichi. Kubanga Yachimani, it's wrong. It's their human right to go and protest. Yakole Chintu Chala Banga Chidi Mulo. Okuba Bilako. Nebra Yagambe, ta agreeing with that wound, that police officer, but you know, no, he's there to protect the people who are protesting on the roads. That's our human right. Uganda. That's a human right. Protesting that right to inform our wound. We don't need to thank those people to think them that they are above the law. Protecting that's their human right. So we are not going to thank them. We should not deceive Ugandans. Bring back our people.
First wait.
Bani atayogera.
Guys, yes, it's me, Martin, the
Okay,
host
okay.
here. Polly, guys, I even don't know. I think as a country, we have a very big problem amongst ourselves, either with perceiving information and how we interpret information. The good thing this space has been recorded. I'm going to request those who will have the time, you'll go back and listen to this space. Then we'll get to know whether there's any sympathy we are doing or what. I think we are getting so many things out of proportion. It's not, nobody was even trying to say that Baby Kitty that guy or anything.
Sikubikirira.
We've
Nedda
tried to raise,
sikubikirira.
yes, let me first finish this. The first person who came on this space and raised that issue was Dr. James. The person approached him in his inbox. Ababaddeko space eyo kumakya. Twabadde wano. Dr. James now raising an issue. Najiteka ne mu comment section. For those of you who have time, you can go through the comment section. He shared the conversation. So we were like, no. Unfortunately, the person was on space. So for us, actually, we even thought maybe Dr. James is raising an issue of being scared for his life or something. Then the person was on space, guys. The Ugandans will learn how to perceive information. This person was on space. Now, one of the persons who died was their dad. And then he was like, he's very disappointed by how people are bitter, yet his dad has not been among those soldiers who have been doing bad things to Uganda. According to him.
How do we know that? How can we clarify?
Polly, let's listen to each other.
Let's first listen. Then Nagamba, his dad has been most of the time at Congo, and in the bushes fighting. That was according to him. Like the father has not been part of this. You see, comrades, when we are here on space and then we lack decorum, then we are going to go wrong. We are not defending anyone. We are saying things the way they were. Then as the person raised, Nathan Kokolima, my dad has died and so that people were like, you guys, soldiers have been killing people. Okay? Soldiers have been killing people and Ugandans have been going through worse. You get? Then this boy came, I don't even know if I should call him a boy because thankfully this conversation is being recorded. He went on and said, guys, not all of us, we are bad soldiers. According to him. Nagamanti, yes, we get commands. Then he gave an example of himself, him as him. And then he even went on and told us, guys, what I'm sharing with you might not be okay with me, with my bosses. They might be here listening, participating. Then he went on and said, for me, most of the comments, the people who were arrested on the 23rd, who were under his docket, they are according to him. He even went on and said, I tried to get in touch with a person called Mutuzo. Raising on this space, Nagamba, because I wanted them to, their people to know where these people are. And I kept telling my fellow soldiers, don't harm these people because they're Ugandans like us. So it's not like anybody was sympathizing with him or what. Then we told him, okay, if you did that, when you go back to your barracks, the same way you should not know space in Uganda raising accident. Because he said the dad died and there was no an ambulance. They even were told to pay for an ambulance. So we told him, now you see why we are here on these spaces. I don't know why, Polly, you're still laughing because I thought I was just trying to make some sense to this. We are not trying to get sympathy. We kept telling him. Okay. Yeah. So we kept telling him that the reason why we on this post are the same things. Your father accident in ambulance. So if Ugandans mock your dad's death, understand it from that angle. And personally, I told him, understand Ugandans' bitterness and rage from that angle. So many bad things have happened to them. Yeah, and your side has not been caring. Now it has happened on your side. We hope you will also reflect on Manyenji. The next time I'm treating a Ugandan, I'm not treating them bad because the things they're fighting for, things benefit all of us. But again, these things were on these spaces. This space is being recorded.
Okay,
Dr. James.
yeah, can I continue?
So I don't know why we have made it a very big deal to the mobilization. We are still on.
Can I just continue?
So I don't know.
Can I just continue?
Okay,
Moji Martin, you explained that and I perceived it well. The chamber then reacting it's a bring a people. He had very, very good submissions, which I agree on. Ne wali wechi just agreeing on. Brian, how Nagama Brayo should be no quite thankful to that police officer. He said, I don't agree with him. Umanyurachi. Kubanga, Brayo nga bweyagambe, Simba doesn't explain. It's a human right. Omuntu nga bamusibye. Olina okutegeeza. Police officer yakoze ekintu ekiri human right. Kyamanyi nti omusibe kyali entitled to. Okumuwa akasimu akube. And that's the way they should behave. Ukola kyo protecting the citizen. Once bazem with their custody. So we should not be thankful. Kubanga these people took a wound. Balayira ne bagamba they are supposed to protect Ugandans. Naye ng'ensi gye tulimu nti ensi abatufuga bayaaye, they are thugs, they are killers. So they have to act like that. It's not that we have not perceived the information. What the guy said. Twagiwulidde. Naye the thing is I'm talking about. Ntino tetulimba bannayuganda bwe tulina okwebaza police officer nti awadde omuntu akasimu akube. I'm not going to agree with you. It's our human right.
Because for us,
nzibye omuntu nina okutegeeza oba bring back people muganda ngo oba Moji Martin muganda ngo Brayo nina omutegeeza muganda manyi Brayo ndi wano wandegeya nabbi akasimu naye bankutte. So nze kyengamba bannange, we know these people bano abantu bamanyi bye bakola. Nze mbagambye my brother, my cousin, I think he's my, he has to be my cousin. Mwana muganda wange. Yeah, I know muganda now I'm just sad. Babatendeka mu kyankwanzi. Kutembeeta Museveni ne kagrupu ke. That's the only thing they are. Tebabatendeka kukola ku protecting abanansi. Ekyo tekirimu. Kati bamanyi bye bakola. Naye nga bwe tugambye abantu
Kati
abamu
pole,
balina that
pole,
balabira ddala nti mugakatonda walayi bye tukola si bituufu. Kyova olaba bafuna ekyo
pole,
akati ne bakola ki ne babba obusimu naye nga that's human rights, that's their right. Bamanyi.
pole,
Kakati ne tugamba
pole.
it's not, we are not going to come on the space to educate people who are above 18. You people, maybe some of you don't have kids. Yes, I have kids, 2 boys. Abaana batendeka ng'oli muto. Nongamba kino na kino tebakikola. Ffe tetweyisa bwe tuti. Tosobola kutendeka mwana above 18 ng'omuyigiriza empisa. They know what they bamanyi. Bamanyi ddala abana bantu si basiru. They operate us, they know that. Naye nga bo be basinga okubeera obwavu. Tetuganye abamu they don't want to do what they are supposed to do. Bakola ki babapuusinga. Naye we cannot tetujja gamba nti oli yazze wano nti lwakuba taata abadde Congo bannayuganda baasanyuse mbafudde. Lwaki bannayuganda baasanyuse? Abantu abali mu Congo be batasi baatu. Those are human beings. What was he doing there? Gold wako banna Congo. Those are the people who are going to oppress the people in other countries. Kakati ate bannayuganda bali oppressed tuve ate tusanyuke tumukubalize lwakuba nti no meja yafudde ate abadde Congo. Abadde Congo kulayo. They are oppressing the Congolese. They are stealing the gold. And on whose behalf? Ku Museveni's behalf. Bannange bannayuganda twebereremu. Nze kyengambe my challenge is I'm challenging all the police officers. Tulina abaana bagenda protesting on the 9th. Mubaleke just pave way bagende ku parliament protesting nga teri abakubye emiggo, teri abasunye, teri amaliddeko obusungu bwammwe. Tumanye ennaku ebaluma naffe ennaku etuluma. Naye ffe mu protecting as you promised in the constitution you are there to protect Ugandan citizens. Si kubamalirako busungu. Bannange, you people give us that opportunity to march to parliament on the 9th of October to exercising our right. That's our constitutional right as a Ugandan. Nze byange mbyogera mbiteeka nze I'm a radical mother, I'm going to be that. Naye nze I'm not going to sympathize with these police officers kubanga bamanyi kye bakola. Bwe baba tebamanyi lwaki be baali badde in fact be baali badde nga babuzaabuza ne Museveni kubanga Museveni alinda ate egyo alibundi ki demand. He doesn't understand what he's saying. Be baali badde nga bambuzaabuza abaana bayitewo bagende bakole ki bakole what they need to do naye batwesirwazaako. Be bannange tuli bakoowu. They should come on the space. I ask them they should come on the space naye balina okubeera ku mulamwa. Ffe tebatuwulira nnaku yaabwe. These are the people who are stealing from us. These are the people who are doing
Ngabo summarizing adi abali yo line up.
this. Tebatwesirwalizaako. Nze byange mbimaze naye nga it's our gundi constitutional right
Mwebale.
ng'oli mu jail within 48 hours olina okukola ki okutegeeza abantu bwe gy'oli tebatwesirwalizaako.
Mwebale. My host ngenda kwogerako just katono mpulirize.
Naye nga match parliament abasirikale mwebereremu mutulekere tukole the needful. Bwe mba temwagala kujjako Museveni muleke tubannansi tuddeko Museveni.
Alali.
Temutwesirwalizaako.
Mwebale nnyo pole obuwabuzi obwo nange njagala njogereko kino then tugende wa rise up Acholi then Kristo. Briefly njagala tukiriziganye bana Uganda that when we talk about human rights Uganda is not in the same sentence with human rights. No, we don't have human rights in Uganda because if we did have human rights in the first place no one was going to be arrested to need a phone for just marching to parliament peacefully. If we really had human rights those girls or those boys who needed that telephone wouldn't need it. They went to prison because there is no human right to protest. Now, when we talk of human rights in prison, when you don't have human rights outside, because my dear Ugandans, we got to know that in our prisons in Uganda, Chitalia doesn't have water. It has not been having water for almost a whole month. And the people who protested in Chitalia, like Sami, they are beaten so bad. We even got to know that one person was killed in that protest within prison. They are protesting for water. If a prison doesn't have water, we cannot talk about human rights. I understand the rights of a prisoner, but they don't apply in Uganda. My dear people, let me ask you, why do you think that police officer had to hide himself to give these people the phone to call their families? It is because with prison there are structures. There is also a structure or an office where you can go as a prisoner, you get a phone call and you call your family. If that office is closed in prison and one person decides to give out his phone, his personal mobile phone, he deserves a thank you. At least, even if it is not compulsory. Some of us, we were brought up by people that but it's not compulsory. It's not even a point. Because some of you are saying, we cannot say thank you. In the first place, they are supposed to do that. I have told you, in the first place, you are not supposed to be arrested. So, if you are arrested, that is unlawful. If you reach in prison, you don't have a phone and water, that is unlawful. If there is one person who does it, risking his job and his life to give you that one thing you're missing, it is a favor. Because that same person can choose not to do that. That same officer can choose not to give you his phone. And the situation will still remain unlawful. Because even him giving you that phone, he's doing it in unlawful way. His rank as an officer does not tell him to give prisoners his mobile phone. There is an office specifically dedicated for that, to communicate with your people at home. But not individuals who are supervising or keeping the prison, giving it guard. They don't allow them to give their personal staff biyambe omusibe nedda fenna tukimanyi naye kitali eri bulala kitali has no water and you're talking of rights to call your people when you are being abducted from your own house, you know. So I think what the police guy did, first of all, he never came on this space. From what Muji Martin has explained, he never came on this space okweraga ntinze nabakolera namwe biki nedda. He only gave you an example to show you not all of them are bad, and that example is what I'm trying to tell you. He did it in a generous way because he would choose not to do it, and you cannot complain about it. Actually, for him choosing not to do it, he's more right than choosing to do it. So if Pole, I want this question to go to you, Pole, directly. If you are in prison, Kitali, and Kitali has not been having water for 2 weeks, and I am not in charge of water or anything, I'm just a prison warden. I come around, I find you're very thirsty. I pull out of my bag a bottle of water, and it's my water, not for the prison, my water. I give it to you. Wouldn't you say thank you? Are you going to start telling me, since you're a prison warden, you're supposed to be giving me water? No, those people are not assigned to give you water or to give you any form of communication. Those
Can I
things
answer that?
Yes, I want you to answer by telling me, are you going to say thank you if I give you that water, or you're not going to tell me thank you because you're angry with the whole prison?
Auntie Omanyirachi, you know the answer. Auntie, I'm going to say I'm not going to thank you. You know what? These people are supposed to serve the people who are in jail.
But I am one person. I am one person.
I don't care.
I
don't care. I don't care. Bring back our people.
That's
Bring
where
back our
we
people. Bring back our people. Let me tell you this. Nze mbagambi nze nakalaba ko president babi. Banzalira ku mulembe gwa gundi Obote too. So I remember saying my mother used to be a medical gondichi ngakolera mulago medical nurse wali eddagala bw'obanga bakuwadde omulimu in position nga teri ddagala ogenda ogamba ne boss we n'ogamba emulago tetulina panado tetulina kiki tetulina kyo. That service is the same thing. Abantu abali aba police officers abakola mu jail, they are supposed to protect the citizens abazze mu jail, they are supposed to demand for services. Eddwaliro lyonna oba jail mulimu okubeeramu amazzi, mulina okubeeramu ebintu ebifunctioning so that they can maintain it. So I'm not going to thank you. They are not doing us a favor. Tebakulimba n'ezo simu ate n'ezo simu ze balina nze nkugamba bwati in jail, they are not supposed to have their personal telephones. Ezo simu za banansi ffe ze twagula ku ssente zaffe ze baliko ze babakwasa.
Onzizeemu buli ebirala tolina genda nayisoka omuyutinge bantu. So you have a choice to say thank you or not, nga bwe nkugambye, but let me be honest or completely sure. If you go to the hospital and you tell your boss, or you're in prison, you tell your boss that there is no water, and your boss doesn't do anything, it does not come back to you as the staff of prison to begin fighting with your boss, because you could get fired. The problem is talking normal things in a government that is not normal. That is the problem. We are talking of normal stuff, like you have to demand. We have all been demanding for Anita to resign. What has happened? So when you talk about Uganda, please don't forget that you're talking about a country that was captured by a dictator for 40 years. Temuja onemutandiko okwogera nemulowooza tetumanyi mateeka, because nabagambye kati lwaki baabasiba in the first place. What crime did they commit? Since you are talking about amateeka, they did not commit any crime. They gave them a crime called, is it public nuisance? They did not commit any crime. So when you say that I'm not supposed to thank you and I need communication, if you don't, we have all heard stories from the Nana Mo Africa. We have heard stories from Sheshe. The people who are keeping these individuals, they are telling them, even if you die, you will not be the first one. If you continue making noise here, this is the Katikyo in prison. These are ruthless individuals put in prison to torture Ugandans. So when you meet one person who does something out of, because you even said they are not supposed to have those phones, and it goes back to that reason I told you. Why would that person want to help the prisoner, but then he has to hide himself? Like, because they are not supposed to do that. And who knows the rules that are in Italia right now? Nobody. For you think these institutions are supposed to be ran like on a standard that is put there, but it's not like that. We all know that they are supposed to have water. We all know they are not supposed to be tortured. We all know they are supposed to have lawyers. We all know they are not supposed to be tried in military courts. We all know that they are supposed to have their hair until proven guilty so that they can lose their hair. These things are not happening. So bwe muja ne mutandika okwogera mulinga batamanyi ensi gye mwogerako.
Can I answer?
I've not asked you anything. Simanyi kyogala kuddamu.
Anti ogambye mbu tujjana ne twogera tetumanyi kye twogerako, nze manyi kye njogerako, nze nabagambye mu Uganda yaffe. Okay, mu Uganda nze naye omanyi bring back our people, nze nagambye lwakuba
leka maleyo. Please, you guys, I want us, me I'm 30 years old. I'm not a kid, nange ntegeera. Bye mwogerako, it's not in Japanese, msisobola bitegeera bulungi. Era saagala nakwogera wano we are wasting time, because the truth is, my host, this issue abantu balina okyogerako. If we don't talk about it, it will come up on another space. So this is why I'm also saying, you know what, I'm going to respond to some things in my personal view. I'm not competing with anyone to see my view as the best. No, this is my personal view. Nti Uganda tekyali ku mateeka. The prisons you're talking of, they are death traps. When we talk of Uganda's prison and then you bring an example of an MP, prisons are Uganda baganda bafiirayo. How many MPs have died from the parliament? You know, so you guys, unless nga bakusibyeko ne bakutulugunya omuntu bwakuwa essimu okirabanga kirabo we baganda bange komera ya Uganda omuntu nobwakujja okukyalira when someone just come to visit you in Uganda's prison, it uplifts your spirit, your heart, nowulira ngose ekiko, because they are not normal prisons. Have you seen the food they eat? Isn't food human right? So guys, let's be very fucking realistic here. If someone bails you in such a thing, they are not saying that it is not their responsibility. What if I tell you that their responsibility was taken away from them? Do you know how many officers are just fulfilling duties, but they don't want to fulfill the duties? They are given command, they don't want to fulfill the commands. So, banange, mumaje birala, mumaje rank. Byabasajja bwagamba ekyo tekigenda kukolebwa. Even if you are a high-ranking officer after Byabasajja, you will not do anything. He's the one in charge of prisons. So I don't want to go beyond this. Pole, I'm going to allow you. You say a word in 1 minute, then to get our Christo round. I don't want to continue having this conversation if we are not understanding. If we are not understanding each other, it is a waste of time. That's the truth. Because some of you are talking of human rights in Uganda. That is a nightmare, guys. It never exists.
Nze nakugambye, I think you missed my submission earlier on. I think Moji Martin asobola kugamba. Nze nakugambye senga twali mu nsi etegerekeka nga teringa Uganda, we are ruled by thugs and rebels. Twali badde bino na bino ABC byonna betwogerako tubirina. Nze kyenagambye, nze kyenatandise nakyo. I think those people were here on the space study. Naye lwakuba gwe twabaddewo. Naye nga we know that we are ruled by goon thugs. Bano abantu tebatwagaliza era bajja tukola ebikolo byonna. Then nekwa ne example nekugamba my sister's goon ki. Son alimu serving amaje nekugamba babagamba baba brainwashing all the time kutembereza Museveni nakati naka government ke nedda nakakundi ke akagoon ka family ke kubasudisa all the time. Siku protecting abannansi. Naye nga baagala okubelieving nti no tetuli bantu, we are not worth anything. Kyobola abatukola ebintu byonna. Buli kimu tulina kwegayirira, buli kimu tulina kukola ki, tulina basankinga nga batuwadde akasimu tukole bwetu kibeti. Naye nga that's how human rights nga twali mu nsi erina democracy. I agree with you everything you've said. Naye nze njagala bawulira nti no ki abantu abatufuga, those are rebels. Those are thugs. They don't work for us. Now, police, they don't protect us. They protect Museveni's interests. Kati tugende maaso. Nze what I'm challenging the police. Abagala change. Yeah, by the way, let me ask you a question. Oyo omusajja simu na Uganda. Kubanga bwanga oli mu Uganda, you work for the citizens. You should protect them. Siku batugulunya. Nze nalaba wali omukazi eyagula. Eyasika omuwala ngulabira omusungu n'amufira akayagala mutta. Really, a woman? Bannange tweberere 9th of October. Men in uniform. Do the needful. Abaana balina okukola kikuba match paka ku parliament. Ba MPs abali mu gundi mu parliament. Mulekerawo kwesirwaza. Bwe tuba tusumagire this time ako kagundi ako that fake electoral reforms ne kaitawo. Ekisajja kigenda tufuga. Ekitalina magezi. Let's wake up, Ugandans. Let's wake up and fight for our rights. Bring back our people. We are not here to argue with you. Twogera ku bintu ebit happening ako. Twogera ku bintu ebituufu. Byonna byogedde bituufu. Naye nze sijja kola
kutegedde munsi erina amateeka
amateeka njesene yaba rebels
erina amateeka ako kategedde webali nnyo munsi erina amateeka buli kyoyogedde kituufu 100%. Unfortunately, we are talking about Uganda, which was captured by a rebel 40 years from now. I'm 30 years, the guy captured power 10 years before I was born. So temukoowa bambi okutuwabula, temukoowa okwogera amazima, because we have to get the truth from this tough talk. Brayo, ngenda kujewo. Let me first give Christo, then raise up and Choli, and Brayo, you'll have 1 minute after Christo. Christo, go on, please.
Mwasibye mutya mwebale kwewabula. Naye nkagamba twebeera in abnormal situations in Uganda. Tukirize. Tulina ebintu bingi ebitukayanya bingi kino kiri ono wajja ntuma platform tukirize eno platform ya fenna all Uganda. Oyina mwana janga mulalu as long as he or she is Uganda ajja kubeera wano. Kosi twagamba kyafenna nga banna Uganda. Tuleka abantu bano boogera obuyanga gacha kisiru then drop him agende. Everyone would be discussing a call, or yakoze ekyobusiru akyogedde. And she over there for almost 4 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, twogera ku nsonga ekintu kyayogeddeko tutegedde kya kisiru. Tukirekawo. Olagenda n'ebyekisiru byi. Kuba n'abantu bali to disorganize. Obo kitegeera. Olagenda okujja bajja alonga dya. Obo namze funa akasefu bamadde kitano mu nsawo wajja kyankalanye. Obo kitegeera kino mukyankala yenga agenda ngayegireko kwa mu kyeganda kye bamadde okujjomba kyana. Obo abatusiza mission ye okuba kyankala. Obo kitegeera. Kuba tutematema mpenda. Tujje tegwanga laffe mu buzibu bw'eririmu tutema mpenda. Byo tebigenda kubula ebyo okutujja ku mulamwa. No, because bana bakolera Museveni bangi ate bakyali bangi. Kuzo bwavu bungi. Many of the reasons bagenda because of the poverty they are in. Oyina kangende. Let me go there. Je balina banga atunda obwongo batunda amagezi nga lwabwavu bwe mututeyo. Nasobola kachankanya bana Uganda abali ku mulamwa because of poverty, and we know. Oli abede okanga yagwamu essuuga oleza musomedde ddiiro genda mu pool na kufuna 10,000. Obushitegere kugamba najja kugenda abantu baavu. Tebagenda kubeera obutajja wano bajja kujja cause that is as in yensonga lwaki basasulwa yensonga lwaki gye bali ate ne bali babaagala cause nabo baagala okulaba ekikyankalanye tebagala batule ku mulamwa no way no baagala batulabe nga kasa tuliyo tudde everyone is just a part but I got na ayogera kiri tugezeeko babuka yes tujja ba platform bajje bukire ne ulaba nga tujja kisiru drop him afinako jadda ffe tugende mu maaso n'ensonga zaffe kuba bano abantu bavuga mission zaabwe ziba zigenda mu maaso tukimanyi bulungi ba MP bagenda kuyisa emotion egenda kuyita kozi bano n'omusimbi kati baagulya dda kuyita ku akaunti zaabwe tagenda kujja kugamba nti bali omusimbi no sente bakati bazirya dda oba emotion egenda okujja nga buli omu ali compromised buli omu nga bamuteeka dda bwajja bagenda okuyisa ensonga nga buli MP bamuteeka dda bwajja era nga bamanyi bulungi list y'abantu egenda okukikkiriza nga bagimanyi bulungi wano baba bateeka buleesi tukiteekamu ffe bannayuganda naye baba bakimite muhaze mu nyumba Anita Amongi baba bakimanyi gundi all for them they have a will mu ekyo kirina okuyita nti president alonde mu parliament naye ffe nga bannayuganda abanyigirizibwa tugenda kukyogerako tutya tugenda kirwanyisa tutya kyetwetaaga essaawa zino tematema mpenda tutemetema empenda tugenda kukyogerako tutya tugenda kireka kiyite bakite tusirike oba tulina okukyogerako kuba twasalawo okuwanirira nsi yaffe ebintu ng'ebya no tulina situlemu gy'abannayuganda gisituke tulwanyirire ensi yaffe something I have in my mind tusobola tulina amaanyi what the MPs balina amaanyi for them they have position naye tebalina amaanyi balwanyirira nsi yaabwe tebagalina ate tebalina amaanyi gatulwanyisa tebagalina seka twogedde eddoboozi limu nga tufunye bannayuganda the masses nga bangiko nga boogera eddoboozi limu ne Museveni atutya alina nnyini ssente alina obuyinza alina emmundu atutya baganda bange tugezeko okusonyiwa ebintu ebimu tuleme okwelumya emintu just as in protect our mental health ebimu tugenda netwoganya abanga oli avuddeko nga mujja kwekwakonde pipa emotion bannange nyo abanga oli avudde naye nga yogeza obusungu tebwenje tutwala kuba ogenda kunyiiga oganye n'okudda wano kubanga wanyize gwe nayogedde ensonga temwakkiriziganyiza ate nga buli omu akyetaaga munne kuba naffe tuliko kikyali kinene kiri moving nga kikyali kitandike just starting what we want kitandika butandisi oba kitegere ogenda baano ng'onyiize onanyiiziza olyanyiiziza kale emiri sigenda kudda no ebyo tetubyetaaga twogere ku nsonga tukkiriziganye tusigale nga tuvuga emirimu wange ffe nga tukyalina bingi ebyokukwatako ng'eggwanga kyatwetaagamu bingi tukimanyi bulungi ti bannayuganda they are just waking up tetwerimba Ugandans be twetaaga they are just waking up buli kimu ekyomugamba kiba kipya olaba munnayuganda omugamba Anita Amongi n'agamba who is Anita Amongi akamanyi nakumanya Anita Amongi ng'omugamba afaanana atya ali atya akola nga ali mu ggwanga Uganda wabula I have to explain to him or her nti Anita Amongi ali bwati bwati tulina obuno obwo tulina okubwewa kati bannayuganda omugamba nti nno bayeteteeka nga parliament erina president aso kirabanga ekiri awo just nga ye munnayuganda tubamanyi bulungi atirabanga ekiri ajja kuga it's okay bamulonde naye ate tumanyi nti bamujjeko constitution bagimugyeko nga yo tekyamufevalinga kozi basa alina etteeka then omugaso ogwa constitution bagutayuddawo era ewedde yebeewe evuddewo obataba balukuddeyo batadde ku bbali baba bakugyeko amaanyi gonna nga munnansi gonna babagedeza tuza okusaba abantu bano ate nga tubagamba olulimi olwangu lwe bategeera kozi wenno batukwesa ebbanga bino ebintu naffe abalinga ababuusebuuseemu twakabuukamu kana akaseera oba kitegere kati ogamba nze mbadde nange ntijja mbuukira ku bannange oyo munnange atabeera wano ye akyali mubisi ddala tulina omugamba olulimi lwategeera tutambulire ku peesi yemu tugaba olulimi twetaaga kutambulira ku peesi yemu nga bannayuganda mu kana akaseera kuba buli omu yeetaaga munne buli omu yeetaaga munne tuvuge 9 October tugitambuza Yoweri era erina okubeerawo ate tulina okugifuula ey'amaanyi 9 October tugitambuze tugigambe bannayuganda tubagambe n'ensonga lwaki kigambo omuze oli bw'okimugamba abamu bakiraba nga kiri easy kuba bali abazi ssente zaabwe naye nga talina ddagala talina nguudo talina masomero bannayuganda bamanyira n'embeera embi bamanyira embeera embi ati tusitula emyoyo gyabwe okubajja mu comfort zone gye bali wajja alaba nti for him or her is comfortable there ogezaako omujjayo naye nga gojjayo alaba nga ye awo bali walina okubeera baganda bange tulwanyire eggwanga lyaffe ffe tugenda okwetuusaako buli kyetwagala tugenda okukonya sobe tugemu obusungu yes tubakama bulumi bungi amaziga gamangi obusungu sobe tubuteke ku bbali tukwataganye tukkiriziganye bring back our people thank you host
sitera kikola ekyo naye submission yo yabadde ensufu nnyo njagadde buli kimu kibadde ku point webala okulungamya naffe tetukyawagana really we are just emotional because of our country all people who are on this space who are saying something with a tough or soft voice they love Uganda that's what I will tell you 100% so sometimes we can be wrong but we are human beings nze ndi omu ayemanyi nkola ensobi era nsaba okumusonyiwa but I wanted to bring in Acholi raise up Acholi you have dropped so let's go to Brayo guys this space is going to close soon so I request that we funza our submissions Honorable Brayo Sebo kenda maaso Brayo you're muted simanyi oba bakuwulira nze sikuwulira I'm seeing your mic muted
I think it's not on.
He's now on.
Thank you. Now, I want to start with a question. My dear, if we all agree every time, that means that you're not a democracy. Sometimes we disagree. You don't understand it. But we are society that is going to be kichuka omwe na rem. Bikasero umuntu mabera mtufu nabera ngati bayinawo nkola ne sometimes tulina okufuna mwensongezi tu. Wano tukanya why tukanya I think that's how it should be. Two, nyagala ogenda ko. I'm going to start with the example. Jibabuza oli. Chiwera mazi. I think it was yabade wounded. Only yabuza poli nti bubako amazi buli mukomera n'oganywa ogenda kubaza togenda kwebaza oli nagamba nida ne kasoke mbuze ekibuzo ku ndi Ugandans for heaven's sake muli abantu 13 mu komera amazi gagenze you 100% sure gwenye nyonta wekuluma n'abasigadde 2999 balina nyonta yemu nawe joyina because amazi gagenze gukutta amazi ago oganywedde enyonta kitufu ekuwonye ogiwonye okay naye banno emarika enyonta ebaluma weyanziza omuntu akuyambe n'akuwa amazi olina enjawulo ne edikenzo gwe bawadde miliyoni n'asirika nadda ku saidi y'abali olina enjawulo ne balona di mayindi abali asenza gavumenti ne basirika kadambo gera kuzino nsoka tewali njawulo no difference tulina njawulo ne bampuga tulina because nawe bubadde wetaaga obuyambi obufunye n'osirika ogenza nga abantu bakola mu military rule tebalina abogerero ba police officers banene uli Uganda essaawa zino eno omusajja omuggo gwe respect bamuyita Muhammad Kirumira ekyamusa kwogera alright yayogera by the way ne court je yasinga okwogera ekyasinga okubanga playing until now essaawa zino bakyaji kotinga saa zino ubeera kweso bisanga yagamba if you speak you die if you don't speak you die I will not stop speaking I'm gonna speak so oyo musirikale ampesimo kyayinza okunyamba ekisobola okuyamba ffenna kugenda kwogera nti banange mukomera abasibe tebakwata tebawa amasimu kyekiyinza okuyamba reason being nti oyambye nze Brian nze kanga ndi mukomera however much ekomera b oyambye nze Brian oyambye nze munde Uganda
is it the prison helping or it is one person helping?
I'm talking about the person Muhammad Kirumira yayogera as person era muzadde tekyamu masasi yayogera as person ovuddeyo nonyamba nompe esimu naye oganya okwogera n'abasigadde mukomera afuna amasimu kati mbuze ekibuzo kino wamanga abali akyoli abali ajomani abali ekotido abali Western Uganda bali mu makomera betaaga essimu tebalina simu oyambye enzo omu gwe bakuttidde ku CPS nompe esimu kifu nyambye naye ate abasigaddeyo 10,000 ndi omu okay tuli group y'abantu 10 otuyambye naye ate millions ne millions eziri mu ggwanga ezitalina simu zo zigenda kolera ki bino ebintu tulina okubyogerako nikola solution eyamba buli muntu okubanga afuna essimu mukomera instead of okudda tugamba tuli mu dictatorship tetusobola kufuna simu akuyambye ate abasigaddeyo batebafunye mu kisoko how many people were being captured on that day that didn't get a chance to receive a call how many tugenda genda mu kukalakaso October 9 lwali nkwatira mu Masaka lwali nkwatira mu Adjumani lwali nkwatira mu Nkoye lwali nkwatira mu Kasese next afuna mukisa gwa musirikale oyo pulina mbako basimu ngenda kusagala mukomera is that way I'm going kyo muntu wagaliza ndi wesibasifanya mukisa oyo musirikale kumpa simu sigenda kutasibwa tikyandi badenti tuwe omusirikale oyo tumuwe obwagazi tumuwe n'okusaasirwa tumusanyukireko kye yakola tulina kuvayo nankola nakwogera kumanyisa ggwanga nti banange mu polisi mukomera temuli simu bantu bakozesa do you think of coming here and say this guy helped he didn't help if he wants to help bekakwate kubo abe yayogera Kirumira yafa kwogera bwabanga asazewo kusirika asirikire ddala bwokwate kubo nokiriza amazi mukomera ng'oli omu banno n'obalika ne bafa ennyonta tolina njawulo nambogera tola nusu bitano bwokwate kubo nokiriza sente ezo nokiriza amazi mukomera tolina njawulo na Ronald Mayanja alikota milioni mukaaga nazirya nasirikira abantu bewaabwe tolina njawulo bwokwate kubo nolya sente ezo tolina njawulo nakiti tukolebwa teggulu kuba sente you have no reason tolina difference so bino ebintu bijjemu tulina kwogera ku zino nsonga nitumanyisa eggwanga ekiri mukomera but anything of coming here tutandika okupraising omuntu oyo nti yayamba talina kyeyayamba because bameka abatafuna mukisa how many are there bameka abali eyo njagala kulema akafaananyi nga mutuufu nze Brian bankwatira mu akyoli tolina bano batatu mugogera kwegala kasanga batutte parliament eyo bani abayamba bwe baba tebafuna mukisa mu kusirikale kuba wasimu bani abayamba tulina kulwana we have to fight a lot nga tulwanisa corruption tulina kwata zino ensonga ku mmeeza so that is very addressed nti tuli mu military rule nonkwali tuli mu dictatorship zino ensonga bazoogereko tuziteeke mu ddiiro tumanye nti banaye abantu baffe bali bwe bategenda mu kooti bwe bagenda mu komera tebafuna simu ensonga endala